How's it going, guys? It's Cass. Originally, I didn't plan on releasing any content pre-event start, mostly because I don't like releasing untested builds. However, I had a decent amount of people ask me my plans for the Phrecia event. After some leveling practice, I think my current plans are detailed enough to at least talk about it. My plan is to play Poisonous Concoction of bouncing Scavenger. Scavenger seems pretty strong for PCONC. You get Explode, you get +2 Proj, on top of some decent defenses from the first lab option. I think the mapping on this build is going to also be extremely satisfying with the Explode and on top of the chain from bouncing. But just a disclaimer here, this is a SCION build. Leveling as SCION can be a pain, but with the setup that I've been testing, it seems pretty good so far. In the description is a POB that is a leveling and league starter. It has minimal investment for decent damage and okay survivability. This is just a starting point, as I said. You should be able to get 4 Void Stones with this build fairly easily, and T16 should be perfectly fine. I have a second POB that is substantially higher investment that I'll be tweaking throughout the start of the league. Once that build is hashed out more, I'll test it and likely make a video for that as well. Final disclaimer, this is an untested build. We still don't know what the travel nodes for the Ascendancy are, or when we get to select the specific points from the Ascendancy, or what order. If you're new to PoE 1 and don't know what POB is, do not play this build on League Start. I'm only releasing this build for those that are wanting to play Poisonous Concoction. Now let's talk about leveling a SCION, since it can be annoying, and I've tried to lay it out as best as possible. The progression is listed in the POB, but I wanted to hit on some specific things. Momentum is the best support early for a Spectral Throw. You can mule this from Deadeye, or you can just use Prismatic Burst until level 4, when you get momentum on SCION. A Stone Axe is good enough to carry you to Act 2, just make sure you're checking vendors after level 2 for a Stone Axe. Dweller of the Deep will give you an Essence. Use that Essence on your Stone Axe. Then from that point on, you don't have to worry about upgrading your weapon ever again for the rest of Act 1. Then obviously you'll switch to Poisonous Concoction, so you won't need a weapon anymore anyway. There are some gems that you will need to buy from vendors. PCONC is one of them. It will cost a transmute, so make sure that you are vendoring items before identifying them in order to get transmute shards. Also, make sure that you buy Shield Charge as soon as you can, and if possible at level 4. If you wait until level 12, it will require more strength than your character will have, and it will force you to waste a passive node on a 30 strength node. The main thing to look for when leveling is a triple green 3-link that isn't on a weapon. This is good for Poisonous Concoction swap, and it's nice for Spectral Throw. In Act 3, you'll get access to a flat Firecraft. This is vital for proccing the Fire Mastery. Do not take those nodes prior to getting the flat Firecraft on your ring or amulet. You will need 4 transmutes for that craft, so again, make sure you are selling items before identifying them. As for PCONC, after the swap, make sure you're using 3 Life Flasks. Almost all of your damage comes from Life Flasks, so make sure you are constantly upgrading your flasks from every act from vendors. And that's pretty much it. I have a ton of content about Poisonous Concoction if you run into any issues, and I will be playing this build on event start, so if I run into any problems, I'll make sure to make updates. Play this build at your own risk. I have yet to test at max level, but I personally feel it has a ton of potential. Thanks for watching.